Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now this video is going to be a compilation of clips from the past couple of days with a lot of diamond and rare highlights, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy seeing me take down some really nice animals. Like, I have been searching for a few of these for the lodge for quite a while, and there's a couple that I had on my Xbox account that I've been really wanting to get for my PC account for the lodge. And over the past couple of days, I've got really lucky to actually take a few of those, and it's been really awesome. Now, one of these things that I did actually manage to take down over the past couple of days was this grey legendary Cape Buffalo, and you can see there that I was actually under attack from a couple of smaller ones whilst I was trying to take that shot. So I was actually kind of lucky that I managed to get a shot on him and claim him before I actually got killed. He was only just over diamond, but I will take a different looking diamond Cape Buffalo for the lodge, because normally I get the black coloured ones, so to get a grey colour one is really nice. Still looking for a brown colour one, but hopefully that will be something that comes along the line. Now, moving on to something from my own map is this legendary lion. Now, you may know from previous videos, including the one with the dark brown lion, that I have recently started a lion grind looking for rares and diamonds. I had quite a few diamonds and I had a blonde and albino female on my Xbox account, and so basically I've been grinding lions trying to get rares and diamonds because I didn't have any rares or any diamonds when I started this. So I got the dark brown a few days ago and spawned in at this lodge to come and look at one of my lion zones, and one of the first things, actually the first animal I spotted as I came down here was this legendary. And like I said, I haven't had the chance to actually shoot any on PC, so I was really tense and trying to make sure I got a good shot on him, but he just didn't want to cooperate. I wanted that perfect broadside shot, but all he'd give me was front on. And then he stopped broadside behind that bush. I thought, will the bush actually take the shot? Because if you play Rohunga, you'll know that the bushes tend to be bullet sponges. I have actually lost a diamond jackal because of that, because I shot a jackal and it was just behind a bush, and then it didn't register as a hit, and the thing ran off, and then the host quit the server and it shut the server down, which was a shame. However, this lion, he just didn't want to give me an angle I was comfortable taking. Like I said, it was one of those things, like, I probably could have taken a couple of those shots, but because I was so desperate not to mess it up, I was being extra cautious. And I kind of decided that he probably wasn't going to come out and give me the angle that I wanted. And so I ended up taking a shot that didn't work, but kind of worked. And you can see the Cape Buffalo running past me there, which I was really lucky that they didn't decide to actually charge me. That was really, really lucky, because if they decided to charge me, they could have messed it up, and then I would have had to come back and try and line up on him again. But I was just sat here waiting, thinking, should I take the shot and try and get a shot through that brush, or should I just try and maybe fire a 22 bullet towards him and see if I could get him to come out? But he just didn't want to move. He just wanted to stay behind that brush. And like I said, I ended up taking a shot that it should have been fine, but the bush was the problem, and then it ended up making me take a shot that was a lot quicker than I intended. So you can see there, that would have been a perfect broadside shot, but it didn't register, and I ended up taking a front-on shot, and I managed to get him. And I'm really lucky there, and I was almost tempted to put another bullet in him there, that's why I'm hovering over him like that. But I didn't know for certain that I hadn't hit him on that first shot, and I didn't want to hit him twice and then it actually be 3 times. So I was just extra cautious, but it was a perfect double long shot, and he did end up just making diamond. So that's my first diamond lion on the PC account, and it's one that I'm really pleased to have for the lodge. Then I actually ended up going on my fiance's map for Quattro Colinas, as unfortunately his account got wiped, and so he's been kind of not playing the game, and he said go and see if you can find anything that's on my map that I haven't found, and actually found something that I've been looking for, which was a level 5 Gredos. And I've been trying to get the Grand Slam, because again it's something I had on Xbox that I haven't had on PC, and I have a Diamond Basiti and Diamond Southeastern Spanish Ibex, so I need Gredos and I need Ronda. So when I saw this level 5 and his horns looked so good, I was like quite confident that that would be diamond, and that estimate looked really good as well. So I was quite confident he'd make it and managed to drop him on the spot there with the M1. M1 is such a fantastic gun for any sort of anything that's bigger than class 4. And class 4 and above, it's just such a good gun. And then I have my 300 for the really big stuff like Buffalo, and with those guns, I've just set. And yeah, that made diamond, and it was great. And then I decided I'd go and look for some European hares, and I spotted a level 3. Now, the first shot I took on this was completely rubbish, and yes, there is a dead roe deer female there, that is something I just shot. But I was more interested in the level 3 rabbit. But she just fleed, and then kind of just was trotting away, and I managed to get a second shot on her, and actually the second shot was the one that took her down, because that first shot just completely missed. And I'm really lucky that I even got that second shot on her as quickly as I did. So really, really pleased with that. And another diamond European hare for the lodge. And like I said in previous videos, I really like having the diamond European hares, the diamond jackrabbits, and just anything that isn't ducks, because it makes a nice change. And I was always really unlucky on Xbox with rabbits and hares. In fact, I got trolled by a level 3 European hare once. So really nice to get one down. And then going back into general multiplayer servers and going on Silver Ridge Peaks, I spotted this beautiful white pronghorn. Now, looking at it from a distance, I was fairly sure that that was leucistic rather than albino, which actually I was really pleased about, because I have a albino male, and I always try to get all the different fur variations, all the different rare variations for animals. So getting a leucistic was just what I needed. And I don't care that it's a female, because to me it's about, with the rares, it tends to be about the fur. Unless it's something like an elk with huge antlers, it's just about the fur and actually getting the rare. So I just love the pronghorn as well. I think they're so beautiful. And then you can see that she is leucistic rather than albino, because you can sort of make out the markings that an ordinary looking pronghorn would have, but just in grey and white. And obviously the black nose hooves tell you that that is a leucistic rather than an albino, because the albino would have the pink nose and pink hooves. And again, please forgive me there for the night vision. I have been going in multiplayer servers and they've been at night recently, so I've started carrying the night vision binoculars, and I keep accidentally switching to those. But again, in just a random multiplayer server, it was Gredos and, well, all Ibex drink time. I came to the same spot that I actually shot that level 5 on my fiance's map, and there was this level 5 Gredos. And it's a lot smaller with its estimate, but the horns to me looked almost identical. And so I was kind of confident that he'd make it, but I know how often these troll as well, so I was hoping that it wouldn't do that. Back in on my Xbox account, actually one of the 1000 scoring animals that I got was actually a Gredos. And so ever since then, I've been kind of fascinated by the Gredos Ibex. I think they're really cool. Like, those horns to me look like, I always think of them as the kind of horns you'd see on like a cartoon dragon, with that sort of curl going back over their head. I think they just look really, really cool, and they're really neat little animals. And I like having the couple of different fur variations as well, with the greys, and then you've got the brown and black coloured ones. So that's always nice to try and get a different colour one. But like I said, it's progress on the Grand Slam. Even though I've obviously got that other one that I showed before, it's maybe another one I can use in the multi-mount, I think, that's head-to-head with the Basiti and Gredos fighting, because I've got so many diamond Basiti Ibex, and I'm probably saying that wrong. I always say that when talking about Basiti Ibex, because I can't think of another way to pronounce it, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But you can see that, again, the M1 just dropped it in its tracks. Pretty much everything, like with the Ibex and the Mouflon, if you hit them in the double lung, they do tend to just drop on the spot, which is always what I like to do. I always like to see an animal drop. It makes me more confident that I made a good shot. But yeah, looking at it on the ground, you can see this is the different fur variation to the last one I shot, and he did just make diamond. And I just love those horns. I just think they look so, so cool. And the way that they're sort of ridged as well, where you have like the different like rings of the horns, I think that looks so cool. So a really, really nice one to add to the lodge. On a really low level Leighton Lake server, I spotted something again that I've been looking for to add to this new lodge on PC since I got PC, and it's something that I have had one max level of before that actually trolled whilst I was doing my Great One grind, and that is a level 5 Blacktail. I had so many Diamond Blacktail on Xbox that they were just everywhere for me, including a 1000 Diamond Blacktail. So I really wanted to add one to the PC lodge because, like I said, I'm trying to sort of catch up to where my Xbox lodge was because I got so many cool trophies on there that I'm trying to replicate on here. And slowly but surely, I'm actually getting there, and I think that it's actually becoming better than what my Xbox lodge was. Of course, having the Great One in there in the middle of the lodge kind of makes it better, whatever. But I'm getting things that I never had before, so that's really cool. And I was looking at this Blacktail, and I was thinking that looks similar to the rack that the one that I had on my map that Trolled had. And I was like, I don't know. I'd be really pleased if he can make it. Please make it, please make it, please make it. And he did. And it was a clutch again with only just making diamond. But man, I was so pleased to finally have a diamond blacktail for the lodge because I've got so many diamond whitetail now, and I didn't have a single diamond blacktail. And then I ended up on a server for Te Awara and spotted something again that I've recently had a troll of and that I am desperate to add to the lodge, which is a level 5 feral pig. It's exactly the same spot where I had the one before. That little inlet of water that you could have just seen to my left there is literally where the last level 5 I shot was drinking, and that one ended up being a troll. And I was thinking, please don't troll, please. I've been looking for one of these to be a diamond since Te Awara came out. Because actually when Te Awara came out is when I moved from Xbox to PC, and it was one of those species that I really wanted to get because it was a new species, and they just never ever were level 5s until that one maybe a week or so ago that trolled me. And I was lining up to take my shot there, and their feed zone ended. And I had just become server host, so quickly fast travelled back to that lodge there. You can see how ridiculously close this is to the lodge. It's right outside. Fast travelled back to that lodge, changed the time back, ran away, ran back, and he was back there feeding. So I made sure to wait and get a perfect shot on him because, again, it's one of those things that I've been wanting for a while. Maybe to other people it's just a feral pig and it's, they've had 10 of them. But for me, it's just where my luck hasn't been. I've had more luck with Seeker, where I had 3 diamonds quite quickly. But feral pigs have just been, they've just avoided me. And like I said, that one level 5 that trolled, I was so sad. I was like, really? The one level 5 I see and it ends up trolling? And he started feeding up behind that hill there, and then I noticed him run back down. And so I was going to shoot a 22 bullet to try and get his attention, but I decided that probably wasn't going to be the best idea because I didn't know exactly where he was stood, and I didn't know exactly how alert he was because I couldn't spot him. I was guessing he was still going to be calm because I wasn't moving very quickly and the wind was not blowing directly at them. So I just decided to hang back a minute and just wait and see if I could get a spot on him again and actually get a shot on him with the M1. Like I said, the M1 is my favourite gun for this size game, for anything that's class 4 and up, and then if it's really big I'll use the 300 for like buffalo, bison, that kind of thing. But for this, like class 4 and up, to like with Mule Deer and Whitetail, Blacktail, I just love the M1. Even for like Red Deer, it's such a good gun. And I just had complete faith in it there to go through at that quartering on angle and actually get a vital hit, which it did, and he barely went anywhere. Now, this isn't my favourite fur type. My favourite fur type is actually that sort of light brown and dark brown spotty colour, which was actually the fur type that the troll one had. So I was hoping that he would still make it and that now I can look for another one. And he did. Literally on diamond score. He is exactly diamond score. And I know, again, that's not a big one, but I don't care. I'll take it. I finally have a diamond feral pig. I am so happy to actually have one and be done with them. On a very low level Parque Fernando server, I spotted something else that I've been looking for forever, which was an Albino Axis deer doe. Now, it is just a doe, it's sadly not a male, but hopefully in the future I'll get a male, because that seems to be the way with Call of the Wild for me, is I'll look for something for ages, and then I'll get several that turn up. And I don't care that it's just a doe, I'm so pleased to finally have one, because I think they're so pretty. And I actually spent a decent amount of time in this server, because I helped the host who had clearly never played the map. I put tents at all the outposts so that they could fast travel to them, and then they quit the server because they wanted to play with someone else, and that meant that I got server host, and so I got to basically go and look through an entire fresh map, and this was one of the first things I found, and she's just so gorgeous, and then I accidentally clicked accept far too quickly. But I did actually manage to get a screenshot of that from the video clip there. Now, something else I looked for in this server was that there that's running away from me. A level 5 Mule Deer. Now, I've only had one level 5 Mule Deer, and I have been looking for another one ever since, because they just look awesome to me. I even like the rack that people call the ugly rack, which is kind of bugged and the antlers are kind of facing almost backwards. My first ever tree rack one, Diamond, was actually one of those, and max weight and just huge, so I'm kind of fond of those ones as well. But I just love mule deer. They've got such big antlers, and as soon as I spotted that running away, I knew exactly what it was. And it's actually the same rack as the one that I already have in the lodge, but it is a different fur type. The one I have in the lodge is blonde, whereas this is a like grey colour one. So it's a really nice thing to have. It's a different again. As I said, having more variety of the different fur and antler types is always really, really nice. So having a completely different fur type is really good. But they just look so impressive, the size of those antlers. And like I said, this server was brilliant. I had a troll level 9 water buffalo in here, I had that albino axis deer, and then I had this level 5 mule deer. I spent ages going through every single lake, every single zone time that I was interested in, and I just had a really great time on this server. And it was just nice as well to actually help someone out. I always do that if I can when in multiplayer. If someone wants tents put up, I'll always try and put them up and help people get the outposts, because, as I've said before, outposts are insanely good and they're something that you should always try and unlock, in my opinion, because like I've shown in this video, even having a diamond right outside the lodge, they're just such handy places always. And yeah, he was just a lovely size grey diamond mule deer. And I just love it. They look so impressive, and I cannot wait for, well, hopefully they're going to get a great one for mule deer. And if they do, I'm going to grind so hard to get a great one mule deer, because I think they will look insane. I really, really love these huge antlers. It just looks so awesome. Now, this is a great way to highlight the track information thing that's going on at the minute. Hopefully you saw there on the right-hand side of the screen that when I clicked that drinking zone, I could see the fur type and the weight of the puma that actually was drinking there. And when I clicked on it and quickly flashed the map up and saw that albino pop up, I knew that I had to track this guy down, because, again, I had so many of them on Xbox but had not got one yet on PC for... I hadn't actually had a rare mountain lion or puma, so I really, really wanted to get one, and this guy was actually a decent size, beautiful albino puma. So I just tracked him down, and he must have been resting here, and I bumped him out of it. But because it's such an open area, he didn't go actually sort of out of my view at all, and actually then stopped. So it made for a perfect shot. And I was hoping that he'd make gold. I know level 6 for, I think, all the big cats can sort of be, it can be like silver or gold. It depends. It's like a border between silver and gold, and I was hoping that this guy would make gold, because obviously it's nice to get a gold rare. But you can see that from that obviously, without needing the disturbed veg, I actually knew that this was an albino. So that's something that, please make sure if you're playing at the minute that you click on almost every track that you go by. I do. And then pop your map up, and it will tell you all the information about the animal you're tracking, including its weight, gender, and fur type. So you will know exactly what has made a zone, you'll know if it's worth tracking, just everything that you could possibly want to know. And this guy did just make gold, and I was really, really thrilled to finally have one again, because I really like the rares for the puma and mountain lion. Of course, they're the same exact animal in the game with just different names, so I was really, really happy to see that. And then I spotted this guy. That is another ginormous diamond blackbuck, just like the one in a previous video with that huge estimate. That's like guaranteed diamond size. He is huge. And I was like, oh, this is perfect, because I have in my lodge, around one of the doorways, there's 4 small plaques, and on 3 of those 4 I had diamond blackbuck, and so I was just waiting to get another one to go on one of those plaques, and this guy just popped up, and it was just brilliant, because he just even drank there perfectly broadside, no fuss, managed to get him down really, really quickly, which with multiplayer, the quicker I can get something down, the happier I am. Because you never know when a host is going to kick you. You never know if something's going to go wrong, if the server might start bugging out, if the host gets bad connection, you might not be able to claim something. So getting things done as quickly as possible is the best way. And that's the way I work every single multiplayer I'm in, even if I become session host, is I'm working every single set of need zones and every single time period for the animals that I'm interested in. So if, like, on Vrahonga, I'll do Gemsbok drink time, then I'll do Lion drink time, then I'll do Cape Buffalo feed time, and then I just work through on a cycle for any multiplayer I get in that I get host of. If I'm not host, like I wasn't in this session, then I'll just look for whatever's drinking, and that normally turns out quite well. As you can see, it did pay off this time with another really nice sized diamond blackbuck. Not quite as big as the last one I had, but still a really solid blackbuck, and yeah, a nice one for the wall. And finally, something again that I had on Xbox, and I had a few of them, that I hadn't been lucky enough to get on PC until I spotted it in this multiplayer session. Again, this was a really low level multiplayer session that I actually got host of, and it was set to 2 people, so me and just the one other person, and we just managed to keep to completely opposite ends of the map and just find our own stuff. And I was really lucky that one of the first things I stumbled across was an albino springbok. Now, these are the only rare for springbok. The black browns are just an uncommon, they're not a melanistic, but these are a proper rare, and that is pretty much proven by the fact that I've had like 4 or 5 diamond springbok on this account, but this is the first albino I've seen. I do a lot of multiplayer hopping, I look over a lot of animals, so I get a fairly good idea of what's actually rare, and you know, when stuff changes, like if for Mule Deer, for example, when they got their true racks, you can then see, oh, are the pyobolds more or less common, but they've stayed sort of as an uncommon rather than a true rare, so I won't count that, and I won't even bother shooting them. But something like an albino springbok is a proper rare. So to me, again, it doesn't matter that it's a female, it's still got horns, it's still going to look good on the wall, it's still a white springbok, which is something you don't see every day. And I am really pleased to have one, because this was one of the target animals, again, that I really wanted for the lodge. So it's going really well. I'm getting a lot of stuff for the lodge that I really, really want now, and hopefully that will be continuing over the next however many hunts. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some more cool stuff for the lodge. Thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and hopefully there'll be more to come soon.